Hey guys, what is up? It is Seiryo Tennan here today, and I'm about to do something a little bit different than anything I would normally do. I'm just going to go through me dealing with a very, very large set that I've never really touched. My friend plays a lot of Standby Sal, and I personally, he let me borrow his Sal collection, so I thought, I'm going to try making a deck of my own. Having played the Standby Sal list before, I felt like the 1/1 Silica was almost a trap, because if you didn't hit the standbys, playing them down like hard actually felt terrible. And a lot of the other lists were playing things like 1/0 bombs as their surrogate plays for level 1, which it just felt awkward. Like you're trying to wall people out, but then you're fielding like a 2k bomb. And then, like, if you didn't hit the standby, yeah, like, your silicas were worthless, or if, like, your stuff got bounced, you just didn't have, like, good plays. And originally, when I looked at standby, I was thinking of something like this Swimsuit Sugaha, which is it's a pretty solid card. If you use a backup or use an act at all, they become 7Ks, like, across the board, which is only 500 smaller than the Silica, but it's also costless. Well, I don't think there's, like, anything super wrong with this list that I made on the fly. I mean, like, I made this in literally 5 minutes. The back row in this list, even just looking at it, will get clogged, right? Because I want this thing in the back row to help me get AK in all 3 lanes. You need brainstorms to mill through the deck. You need this thing, like, if you're resolving standby and you don't have this thing in the back row, you've done something wrong. Like, you're just going, like, really bad on card economy. So, I'm going to try fixing this deck, and I'm going to do this, I'm not even sure if standby is the right play. The one thing I do want to take from this is I want to keep the Swimsuit Sugahas. I'm not even sure if I want to play standby at this point, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much just start drilling into every Sword Art set, evaluating cards on the fly, and then figuring out like which game plan would be better to go with. This like wall strategy with the Sugaha, or the standby, like is there more synergy with all these standby cards? So let's get into it. I'm using Little Akiba because I like to look at the pictures. So I'm just gonna... I'm actually not familiar with anything that Sword Art really does. Did I get... Oh, I didn't get this one. Okay. And then... base set Sword Art. Okay. So we've got, like, what, 6 booster boxes to go through? And really just start evaluating cards. Let's go back into the original. I don't think there's anything worth playing in the original set. But, might as well, just take a quick glance. Trial deck cards, so probably nothing worth my time. I think half of these are vanillas. That's... It's like almost the same thing, but it's, using an act, it's only 500 bigger, it's on a 1/1, so it's pretty terrible. This is a global 1000? Wow, this card's actually okay. Oh man, this is almost like a viable alternative to the like, right, that's the net trade, I think. Yeah. This thing's almost a viable alternative to the tap they can't use backups. The Scry's not really useful, but the Avatar net thing is. Well, actually, you can almost argue that this is worth the top check. Because if you hard play this, it can help with the Sin on Restander. Yeah, that's terrible. 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 Terrible, terrible. And this is, definitely both of these decks are supposed to be defensive, so cards that only give power on one turn are pretty awful. Yeah, this card's pretty solid, though. Put it over to the side. Let me make sure that OBS is still recording the right window. Yep, okay. let's go right into it. Level 1, paid, nah. No reason to pay for climax combos. I actually like cards that gain soul against level 3s, but 12k is like usually not big enough to get over the cards you need to. And you know, putting cards into stock is pretty terrible. Back in the day, that was probably a really solid card. Cards that go to clock are terrible. Nope. Nope. Climax combo just for power. That's clearly old card design. Heals on play. It's like a trial deck card at this point. Except for, I think, was that tied to a climax combo too? No, it's just on attack. This is like... It's okay, but it doesn't really play. And like, you have so many better cards now with Sword Art, right? You'll never want to play that card. This is Married Life, right? Yeah, I know that Married Life is a card that a lot of people like to use. So we'll just keep that open and keep going. Changes probably into a bad card. You play this card. You play this card regardless. Is this base? Base, that's Sword Art. Got that card. Wonderful. Pretty good meme card. I guess with standby, you could standby it out, but not worth a slot. All your characters in front get 1,000. That card was just simply outclassed by the Sinon. Machine of Ice, yeah. Pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. Oh no, we're in vanilla territory. Yeah, vanillas we don't care about. During your turn. It doesn't survive, so it's just like... just terrible. $3,500 backup seems fine, but it's like you just have so many good cards in Sword Art that there's no use in playing these bad ones. Like that 1-0 split counter is disgustingly good. I know this is being like used by some people. It can gain hexproof. The global 15 is what's really relevant, right? Regardless of the build I choose, because if I decide to go off of the standby, I still wouldn't want this. I think this card is just outclassed by the Asuna in every way. A lot of bad cards. I mean, like, we're starting with the oldest set, so we're probably going to pull out the least amount of cards here. And then when we get to the newer sets, 500 power is pretty terrible. It bonds to probably a terrible card. Support, 500. Power brainstorms aren't worth your time. Especially, like, if you're, either one of these decks should be winning board, regardless of what you do. Vanillas are terrible. Notice that 1/1 that only gives 2k power, yet that 1/0 also gave 2k. It's pretty nice. Oh, look at 2 cards. Not sure what kind of terrible event that's supposed to be. And that 2/1 could have almost been a meme if it was on a backup. Minus 4k, like as a backup. Be pretty sweet. Pay 1 on a level 2. It's pretty terrible. It's actually not the worst. If you plus 1 for 1, that's fine. Uh... Ooh. Salvage? Oh, it's on a level 3. Oh my gosh. I didn't even look at the level of that card. 500. Drop Search, but like, Drop Searchers and Sword Art, I know they have the bomb one that just outclasses the rest. Accelerate at Climax Step is... I don't know, it just doesn't seem too good. I know that if you're wanting to accelerate, you have the 1-0 Liz and the newer sets. Ooh, a card that rests itself. Good. Vanilla's terrible. Card that kills your board, also good. Oh my gosh, all of these old cards that just like rest themselves. I don't expect to find anything too solid in the old stuff, but I mean that card in the trial deck was pretty solid. Global 1000, and the split counter was in the first set too, which is pretty cool. Pay 2, pitch 1, sack this, and it's a 1/1. Okay, what is the payoff? What is the old payoff for this? A 2/2/9/5 that can rest itself. It'd be pretty funny to play that at 1 or at 0, but that card doesn't progress well. It doesn't have hand encore. Doesn't really do anything. Ooh. Oh, it only helps center slot. That's terrible. A card that I am going to think about is the 1/1 Investigation Report. I think that with the if you're going down the green costless wall, since you do have a costless wall, you can almost afford to splash it. If I do move away from the standby, I think it will be worth looking into that. Old restand are not really worth the time. Choose one of your characters. Oh, it's Brainstorm for power. Not that good. Just a standard drop searcher. Oh, pay 1, draw 1. Selective. Pay 2, draw 2. Even better. This is definitely the dank meme rating, right? I mean, if you're playing standby, you might as well give them something to anti. If like they anti-change counter this over like something else, that'd be pretty value. Splashing it as a 1-up doesn't seem too bad. Oh, I should probably mention, I'm not trying to make like a meta-breaking deck. I'm trying to make a pretty fun to play deck. That's why, like, you'd probably never include any of this, but if you're just, like... If you're playing standby, like, there's really no harm in playing one. It's not gonna... I don't think it's gonna, like, destroy your game plan, because you're playing blue anyway if you're playing standby. Like, if you're playing standby, you either have Switch or Link Strike as the top end. I don't think you have anything else. Oh. Okay, yeah, you definitely don't do that though. You don't be too greedy with that card. The Yui activates Axe, but you definitely have better cards. With the very few cards I know, you have better cards. Wait, what was the condition? Pay 2. Oh, when it dies. It's just such a terrible call. Choose one. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. You have to sack a specific card? Oh my gosh. To sack like a 2-1 or a 2-2? Is that the end of it? Oh, yep, that's the end. So we got like, what, 3 cards? Just gonna take these, move them to the side. Now then, we're on to the EB Volume 2. I know there's some okay-ish cards here, right? I mean, don't think we have any promos. I should mention this is also going to be an English deck. I don't know what the promos. I'm not going to look at the promos too hard. This is fine, but it's like I'm already trying to play 107k walls. This hinges too much on the combo. I at least know what these do. During your turn, I already don't care about it. Card that kills itself, not worth playing. There's almost never a time, unless like a card runs to stock, there's never a time that you want cards to kill themselves. This card's actually okay. I don't think it'll see play though, especially in English. If it was 500 power, it'd be more relevant. It could deal with Kaban and like other threats. Global 500's good. The fact that it only combos with that's kind of sad. It's worth noting that it is a climax combo. It doesn't rely on a climax combo, but Mill 11's terrible. You're basically dealing a damage to yourself. Of course, this is everyone knows what this card is. I know this card's good. Personally, I don't want to run in whatever deck I build. Well, I might. We'll leave Yuki on the table. I don't want to run it though, because if I'm trying to wall people out, like giving a free reverse in this lane, this card will never wall someone out. I recognize it as a good card. Top check on play, clock kick. Oh. Sometimes stock charges on attack. Seems not the best. Yeah, it seems pretty terrible. Ooh. Oh no, that's right. This only supports the 6K. It makes it big. All your other blank or blanket 500. So again, this is outclassed, I know, by some of the newer cards. I'd rather get like on attack salvage, and then my cards power pump themselves off of that act. That was almost an okay loner. Did it have to be in the middle, it said, or is it? Oh, it just had to be alone. This card's actually okay-ish. I don't know what better loners. Every time I've borrowed... Oh, wait. You have crosscut, right? I guess this is worth, like, looking. Until we find something better, as, like, a big oversize. That card's fine-ish. No, you have to have too many utility cards. 0. Screwed that card. I would rather have a runner can provide utility. Even if it can't answer an opponent's threat, like, you can have a runner in the back row at later stages of the game just for the mill. So, that card was not worth the time. Pay 1, terrible. It was a level support. I guess that's okay-ish. But Standby already wants to have Asuna and other cards in the back row. Blank and blank. -1. Thankfully, this is a pretty small set. That'd be pretty cool in a Liz deck. I think this is the card that some people play. Yeah. Oh man, this thing defuses bombs? Okay. I'll keep that one on the table. Because this card synergizes pretty well with standby and just recurring counters. And it's it's actually 6k on defense, which is pretty relevant. It's oversized. When your other character is placed into waiting room, just saves cards. I mean, the way I see it, if they're getting over your board, you're probably not getting over theirs. Especially when this is like a very defensive type deck. Your level 3s are too. That card was actually okay-ish, but it's just like Sword Art has such strong level 3s, and even if you're not playing standby, I feel like you're just forced into the other game plans. Like, Yui's too good to not drop, Liz is too good to not drop, and the Link Strike Sinon is too good to not drop. The other ones depend on what your climax combo top end. Those are just like cards you probably want to be playing if you're playing Sao. Liz is... You're probably able to move on Liz more than you are any others. All the characters in front of this get 500. Scribe, but I think it was only on Kirito or Asuna, right? Yeah, that's Asuna. This card's kind of worthless because, regardless of what deck I'm playing, I'm not playing either of those names, really. Ooh, level 3s get 2k, but Asuna already does that anyway. Oh, this is just like the Amelia. No. I know I have a card that does that. Yeah, it's like the Amelia Brainstormer, right? But like without the Brainstorm. During your opponent's turn. Ooh. Man, this almost works with the standby like the best, because this is... Because the way I see it is if I'm fielding, like, big walls, my opponent's kind of forced to crash. And if they have to crash into my walls, I don't care what I am on my turn. It's... Well, that's probably wrong, so I'm probably not going to play this. Pitch 1 when it's played. To search for... I'm really not opposed to this. I'm not opposed to this. If you play this with a standby, your board just gets really big on the opponent's turn. Like, really big. But also, if you're standbying into this, you're probably not getting the 2 soul from Liz. I'm torn. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. You know, just trying to get a good base right now. Yeah, this card's terrible. I just see a climax combo and something about power. Because right, that last one wasn't relevant, right? Oh, shuffle your deck. Wait, this thing restands for free? Oh wait, I have to sack really hard. I have to sack into a copy of itself. Broken. Terrible. Oh, that's a PR. Okay. Yeah, we got 3 cards only out of that booster box. As an EB, so it's pretty small. Sal Volume 2. Already stopped caring. I just saw, like, attack and something about power. Attacking on a level 1 with a climax combo is not worth your time. Cancel Burn's always nice, but once again, I think like the card pool is too good for something like this. Cards going to stock is terrible. Cancel Burn's nice, though. Is this even worth? It doesn't heal. All of your characters gain 5k. Well, that's not like a finishing combo. That's just like dealing with something. So you're probably never going to be playing this this climax, but this Cancel Burn is. It just doesn't early play. It's not good enough. If you're relying on one damage stick, you can just like crash a level 1. You don't need that. Ooh. Oh, it's only 3k? It's so bad. Why is this Brainstorm text here? Terrible. Doesn't do anything else. I'm pretty sure that changes in the 3-2 that we already decided we don't care about. Changes are kind of outdated with the way the cards have like minus level now. And then standby cheat stuff out. I guess you could say the changes are relevant for that, but... During your turn... Just not good enough. Oh, it's Clock Encore too. You don't want to be taking damage. Standby doesn't want to be taking damage from its own cards, like, too much. You're already not slamming climaxes that do extra damage, and you're trying to, I think that when you play Standby, your goal is to kind of, like, slow down the pace of the game. Like, you're trying to lock your opponent in. You're just trying to stay a little bit behind in damage with your opponent. Like, not a lot. You don't want to be, like, really far behind, but you want to stay a little bit behind so that they can't field cards to contest your board. I think that healing a lot is pretty important for Standby. Oh, broken. The card goes to memory, compresses you. 3k backup, terrible vanilla. Lots of terrible cards when you always look at sets. All of your other cards. Oh, this is like once again another global. Pay 1, pitch 1, encore? Not worth your time. I think that other card was better. What was that other card that we looked at? All of your other cards. Oh, when it comes into play, like Scry Top. Yeah, that's better. It sets up the restander. This thing heals, and it's got some climax combo to search for 2 cards. This is what people are playing right now. Like, I've heard that, like, this fairy circle. Yeah, this is the combo that I think I've seen people play, right? It's like compresses you too. And it heals? I mean, I'm already on the green plan. I might entertain that thought. Cause is that on a stock soul? Because I know that there's like card interactions in future sets with this. Okay, well, I definitely don't want to play a draw 2k one. Is this a stock soul? No? I think the other card gives soul. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. All your characters in front of this gain 500. If you're really worried about Love Life Sunshine, I guess that's almost relevant. They're probably not gonna have bombs unless like you shot them to level 1 first, I guess. Yeah, Field of Bombs just feels bad. This is like a pretty okay-ish tech card, because resting it is an act, so it will pump your board up. So you can get over them, then you get to defuse the bombs. You only get to defuse one, that's not even worth a tech slot. Nah, not even worth it. Terrible. It's only 6k. This card's pretty lewd. Also not worth the slot. Oh, terrible. One character. If that could add, like, any card in clock, maybe? Maybe? Oh, what is this demerit? Okay, we're going to the next card. I think it's the first time I've ever seen that demerit. It's probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Terrible. Wait. Did I read that right? Oh, you have to play it on a climax? Yeah, that's not good. I think that card was literally worse than one of the cards in Volume 1. Like, it did the same thing, but it had less power. This is so situational. Vanillas are terrible, of course. Vanilla backups are even worse than actual vanillas. The card had 1,000 power demerit to be able to pay one to make a card lose 1,000. Oh, old card balance. Why? So terrible. Character from clock returned to hand. Once again, if only that was like more than just a character. Really, the only time I would ever want a card that lets me get a card on my clock is if I could grab events. Because event-heavy decks don't have ways to even get events regardless of where they go, most of the time. So, you know, on the off chance it appears on clock, being able to get it would be kind of okay. But just grabbing a character out of clock, that's not selective at all. It's not even worth your time. The card's not a card that kills itself. Nice. And it's a 1/1. Pay to burn one. This card was probably really good back in the day. Oh, it was a double R2, yeah. Drop Searcher once again. I know that Sword Art has like a better Drop Searcher than just a 2500 one. This card's not terrible. Level bombs are never bad, especially when they're bigger. Like my problem with the new one that I've played, where you can like ditch a climax, is that level 0, like it may be a level 1 bomb, but fielding it by itself feels terrible since it can be answered by a level 0. Like at least that thing was 4 or 5, and most level 0s can't get over it. Lots of level 3s that probably were okay back in the day, but just don't do enough. Sword has a very diverse pool of cards, so when evaluating them, like, some of these cards would be fine in a lot of situations, but given the current pool of cards, it's just really hard to justify playing a lot of these. Like, well, that card you would never play. Goes to clock, it's just terrible. Ooh, gives a level and 500 power to avatars or nets. Ooh, and it grabs anything? It's like an on-death Ricky. Which is pretty cool. That means if you, like, standby over it, you can recoup the card. You can actually pay out the standby immediately by standbying over, depending on what your deck state is like. Like, if you're, like, near the end of a deck and you trigger a standby, like, let's say you have, like, one card left, you can immediately pay that out. Clock the last card of your deck, search the new one? Yeah. This card's pretty solid. Like, I could actually see myself teching this, like, especially with the Love Life Sunshine meta going around. Even normal standby that plays like all the 1/1s. This just gives you such an edge. This is way better than the levels 1 bombs. Oh man, the 500 power is kind of weak though. I don't think you care about that. Yeah, it's just a tech card. Oh, solid. See, this is why... Things like this is why you actually need to go and look at cards. Like, I don't know how many people are on this. I'm not going to say that this is even going to be, like, game-breaking. But it's a solid choice, like, right? Clocking yourself at level 2, terrible. 7,500 and that's it. I just really like that line of text. Just think, when is this card gonna go to the waiting room? It's 2k power and it gives like a buff to front. Card's only gonna go to the waiting room when you standby over it or you play over it. Oh, and just as like a side note also, because like the +1 level can be seen as a detriment. If you're playing standby, trust me, you don't care if your cards have extra level. If you're getting anti-change, you're getting an anti-changed. Yeah, that's not worth it. Six cards if you're level 3 or higher. $2k power, it's too weak. It can actually buff up crosscut, which is pretty cool. Like all out attack, whatever it's called in English. It bonds some card. Oh, this card's terrible. I stopped caring about it. So a lot of cards, if you haven't heard about them before, they're probably actually terrible as well. This card actually helps you dig for standbys, but it just does too... Like, that's just too much cost for too little. Okay. Little Kiba doesn't know what that card changes into. Neither do I. So I'm just going to ignore it. Draw 2. Ditch 1. It's pretty terrible cards now. So again, like 1/1 2k vanilla counter when you have the 1/0 splittable. Sign it however you want. Good card design. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, it's an event. Oh, terrible. There's no way to recur events, so most of them are just like aren't worth playing. It's like, is this the one where they just got a bunch of promos, right? Yeah. Hey. Oh, wait, that's not the one. Oh, I was hoping that the card that I liked was in foil. Okay, so we have this this one card. That's the only thing we got from that. No, wait. We got Fairy Dance, right? We got Fairy Dance. People were right. Not too much to look at. I know Last Shot's in this. I don't want to get on the Last Shot hype train. Death Gun is its own little archetype, so I don't think it's going to fit into anything that I want to do. It has like bootleg clock kick, I think? I'm not too familiar with the Death Gun archetype, but it always felt like you were trying to jump through a lot of hoops to do very little. Oh, this card's TD? Oh. Okay. Oh, I actually knew this card existed, so I'm just going to go right by it. I didn't know there was a TD card, though. That's pretty solid. This card goes back in stock. I don't understand. Like, this card can just, like, randomly neg you. What's the point of playing one to put it into stock? Oh, 2 souls broken. 2-1 hand. Oh, wait, no, you get 2 cards. I think I remember that card. I don't think it's worth playing the cards. Another Power Brainstorm. When you play Climax that it doesn't know what it is, you can play... Oh, okay. Very helpful. I don't know how I'm supposed to evaluate cards, it's not telling me what they are. Leaf of Counters, of course, good. Yeah, see? This is the good card. Oh, it's not a drop search. It just like come and play top check. It's functionally similar. Like, it doesn't get you the cards you need, but with Sword Art, a lot of the times, more than the cards you need, you just want like discard outs. At least with Standby, this card's better. Man, that drop search Kirito is actually not that bad now. And it's a blue fix. This is basically a clock shot. It's like... Oh, it makes the next one a clock shoot, kind of. Ish. Ooh, you can hurt yourself. What a good card. Terrible. Wait. All of your something get 1,000. Terrible. Terrible. Is this not played because it just grabs something that comes out too late? Or is this played? I'm not sure. Like I said, I actually don't know Sword Art cards. Oh, I hate these. They can neg you. I think these cards can straight neg you, so I hate them. Yeah, this is a runner. I know this card. Clock Encore, I don't like it. I'm already playing walls. 6k is not big enough. Especially when the only upside for playing it is the Clock Encore. Another Global 1000? Okay. And it changes. This is the change into last shot. Oh. Oh. Standby book can't get the same mileage off. Pay to pitch one, sack this. Beginning of climax phase. So I have to wait a turn. Get one turn of walls. I have to bleed hand. Well, maybe not playing a plus in combo? Maybe I am. Oh. But I can't recurse standby if I play this. Like, right, if your game plan is to standby something at like later levels, then you really don't want to not play pants. Because otherwise you can't like reliably get the standbys to hand. Oh man, standby last shot might be legit. Cause you can wall up for a turn. But right now what I'm trying to look at is maximizing the effectiveness of the green 1-0. And I think that standby last shot is a completely different deck. Like you do not touch this with that green 1-0. I think this card is great though. I think this is actually this is a very valid standby target. I didn't realize that it was a global 1000. Heals. What is this art? Why? Do you play that? It's 1000 power cross turn. I mean, I already like the other one, and it was just like a scry, right? That one changes into something formidable, but it kind of forces you to play the last shot. Pay to ditch one. Coming in climax phase. I mean, like, I understand that's better for aggression, but in the case of, oh no, I triggered a standby and I have to pay it out, it doesn't really help. That's the one really nice thing about that 1/1 is that like having it on the board is an insta out to a climax trigger. The same can't be said for that 2/1. It has to wait a turn. And then like is the it's like all that decompression worth it? I'm not sure on that one. That one's actually really rough. Because let's see, I'm going to be playing green. If I'm playing the green, I know for a fact in my shell that with that green card, I will be playing the Silica and the Amagi. So I'm already in like green and red. With green being a primary color at 1. If I'm playing standby, that adds red. Well, red's already there. I always feel like it's awkward playing standby as like a primary card with an off color as your main card to field. Because a good player can level lock you and just put you in really awkward spots. But the I mean, I guess you're playing blue anyway. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. I don't think it's the play. Not if I want to do this 1-0 green wall. It's definitely not. At least I don't think so. I don't know. That's a rough one. Not good enough. Not good enough. None of these are good enough. Some promos. Oh, back at the TD. Yeah. I will begrudgingly admit that this is probably a good card. I'll definitely think about it after looking at more. Oh yeah, this card's pretty good. That card being a Ricky can actually give you access to colors that you wouldn't normally have. I mean, I know it's random, but sometimes you need to take that gamble. What's this? Re-edit? So, a lot of these are reprints, right? And the new cards are only these, right? I mean, no, these are reprints. Wait. That re-edit was reprints. Are these the new cards? Yeah, these are the new cards, okay. Oh yeah, this is the second combo, okay. This card is actually pretty okay if it wasn't for the fact it needs a reverse. Like, it's just so hard in English to get reverses. This card is actually better suited for Japanese because I think it is easier to find reverses on Japanese players than it is English players. Because everyone in English is so spooked about Attack on Titan that they make their entire deck around not getting reversed at any level. And right now, like, Japanese is kind of on, like, level 0, 500 bombs or oversized level 1s. And the card quality is so much better in, like, the most recent Japanese sets, I feel, that you kind of struggle to find room for runners in some sets. Like, you can, and some players will prioritize the runners, but others, it's just like, why run a runner when I could run this other card that will plus me in a better way? Through all stages of the game. Of course, we know this card. If you play standby, this is the play. If you don't play standby, you don't put this in your deck. I don't see how this card helps you. Regardless of what deck I'm gonna play, the shuffling 2 cards in is not gonna help. I hate that demerit. That card is huge, though. Yeah, this card is absolutely massive. I guess it's a 1500 power demerit. Yeah, see, when I play Climax, it gives extra soul. If I top check. And if they level up, if I'm playing this Fairy Circle, which is green, and a 2K one, lets me get my cards. Though leveling up with a 2K one's a little rough. I get like a free Amagi, and I get to rest to give something 1,000. Whew. Is Fairy Circle the play? It might actually be that Fairy Circle, like I said. And just because this Fairy Circle Standby. I feel like you're missing out a lot on... Well, this card gives you the soul count that you need. You can still play a lot of the busted cards. And honestly, like, a lot of playing Standby, that, like, switch combo is very rarely used. You can just generally outvalue and bully people out of the board. But this is, once again, this is a back row card that's, like, competing with everything else in your deck. It competes with the Amagi for a slot. So this definitely can't be played with Standby. Even if you choose this as the play, you're going to want a different level 1 combo. Because this is a level 3 combo. It's like a almost defensive thing, because you rip 2 cards out of your deck on attack. It's like a level 3 Yuki, which isn't very good, but it's very defensive-ish. I see Yuki as a defensive card. If you level up, you get to top check. I just don't know what you would combo with this. Sword Art's so weird because there's so many cards that just like compete for the back row slot, and like Standby doesn't make it better. Standby actually makes the back row more clogged. I'll think about this though. We didn't really find any level 1 combos that are worth playing. Like there's Yuki, and then there's the Zekken, but in English it's just so hard to get reverses. Oh, this card's pretty solid. Yep, definitely. This is actually auto-included. We don't even have to keep this one up. I like this profile, but that's just because I'm a greedy player. Actually, that Scry makes it pretty decent. I hate this card. I absolutely hate this card. I understand the thought process behind it, but I hate it. Especially in English right now, a lot of players are on Yuki Sinon, and Yuki just gets a level, and then you can't do anything. I actually like this draw Brainstorm. I like being able to dig for climaxes after hitting climaxes. Oh, this card's super good. Now what is this? Pay 1 when you play a climax, bounce back. That's just like super inferior to the better cards. 004K can't play backups or events. Right? Is that yeah, assists, backups. Oh, that card's terrible. Worse than the other card at walling people out. It only gets to 6K instead of 7. Anti-change counter? If you're playing Stand by Side, you literally do not, like this is okay, but it's not, like, the play 90% of the time. It's like a one of. Climax filter is nice. It gets big. Is that the end of this? Yep, that's the end. 2 promos. Not worth the slots. Okay, so we're almost finished. almost know all these Sword Art cards, but this thing's like 500 on your turn. The search is good, but like I said, I'm trying to make a more defensive-ish deck. So, you know, having to rest 2. And then, yeah, I get a search deck, but, back row's clogged. Never forget that. Ooh, mill 2. Kirito Austin, is that Yui? Oh, I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Yui, okay. Just too slow. If you could do this on your turn, like this could help fix the colors, and especially since you top card of stock in the clock, you'd actually know what it is, but it's too slow. Yeah, this is the Mother's Rosario, right? It's the Yuki combo. Pitch 2 on the gold bar with the Yuki combo. It's like a finisher, but then like you're already playing the level 3 if you're doing the fairy dance. Mill 11 is pretty terrible. And there's like number of soul triggers revealed, right? Well, you wouldn't play this in standby, which has a high number of soul triggers. You're milling like a third of a deck, though. Actually, closer to half a deck. That can't be worth it. Because if you're running gold bar, like let's say you're playing gold bar and double soul trigger. What does this burn, like 3? Man, this card's like really weird. It doesn't get big enough to contest board. It doesn't really go with any of the cards I want to play. Actually, so I'm thinking about this right now. If I'm playing, if I'm playing the green stuff wall, right? And then I play it with a gold bar Yuki, so I'm able to search out backups to keep my board alive. And I'm not playing standby. I'm not playing standby. That kind of frees up my back row a bit. Right? And like, I can use one counter to save 2 lanes. And then since I'm already playing the gold bar, I can just splash this in. And because I have the extra space, I could include Fairy Dance. So is the back row going to look like Amagi and Fairy Dance? Amagi and the 1/1? No, I would drop the 1/1, right? Because if I'm not playing standby, it's not worth it. Amagi. God, it's like you have to have the Amagi in the back row. The Kirito Brainstorm also works with the backups because it's like 500, but 1,000 is so much more relevant. So you've got like split K counter. Gold bar standby. Standby has like a single soul trigger, which is okay. I guess it helps like pad your numbers down. Gold bar standby. Holy, what am I even thinking of? Oh. If you have gold bar standby and you have a card in hand, you can like discard it while compressing down to help like hope trigger the standby like better. You can't like spam the can't spam the brain like the standby though. Oh my gosh. Gold bar standby, drop blue. Oh man, I'm going some scary places right now. I'm gonna leave this card on the table actually. I think I'm going a little too crazy with this. Oh, this is terrible. I'm making a defensive deck, not this. Cannot side attack. On reverse, already stopped caring. Is this like a 2K one, I think? Oh yeah, 2K ones. Look at that. Rare. I like these pop-ups that keep coming up. It's only on the turn it's played. Like I said, trying to make something a little more defensive than that. This card's cool. It can actually play a card that's off color from everything else. You don't actually have to have that color. It's crazy. I'm actually more willing to play this than I am Sinon. Because, like, sure, you're killing yourself when you play this. You're milling 11 cards, and then you're probably dying because you caused yourself to refresh or something. Discard 2 cards, anything, including the bar. I mean, I guess Sinon does the same, right? But, it doesn't have the same heavy cost on a change. It's what heals like Sinon. Oh god, why am I more willing to do this? Oh, because it combos with the gold bar, yeah. Sorry, I'm actually on like I've been up for 24 hours now. Let's see. Pumps another card and attack. Oh yeah, this is the Link Strike. The green card definitely doesn't go on Link Strike, so I'm not even gonna think about it. Ooh. 1065 2 demerits. Not worth playing. Oh, this is the Ricky, right? Yeah, because the Ricky goes to memory. Or the Kaban, whatever it is. And this thing's a 9/5 soul. But otherwise it's a 2/1. It seems fine in its deck. Gosh, it's also that just like frees up back row, right? Because you get like more selectivity-ish. This card can deal with problematic cards. Since I'm on like some weird green, red, yellow right now. Yeah. Not playing 2 soul triggers. Hey, this is kind of cool. Pay 1 + 1, and like you can once again, this is a problem of like too many cards in the back row, right? You can combo this with the come and play, because you're gonna be, if you're playing standby like I'm wanting to do, you get to check top with the climax combo, and then you can just like pay 1, rest this, and get straight to hand. But if I'm playing gold bar once again, I'm already getting what I need. It's not worth it. I'm already have costed pluses, and this other line of text is so terrible. No point in it. Oh, okay, yeah, this has got to be like a vanilla or something, right? Yeah, it's a vanilla. 1/1 vanilla. I like that it gains a soul, though. Pretty cool. So a lot of support for that card that goes to memory. What the... That translation is very wrong. Okay. I got really confused. Trap. Don't play it. Dank meme. Not worth playing. Well, yeah, of course you play this. It's like easily the best card. Pumps power. If I'm playing standby, there's just like so many better cards than this. Terrible, terrible demerit. Like all of your other characters, you never play this. Even to fix for green, you don't play this. Great card. This kind of works with the card that goes to memory. I mean, there's probably another card that goes with as well. And has Hand Encore. 2/1 10k. It's not bad. I enjoy seeing this go off. Ooh, compresses when it dies too. Not bad. Oh. Gains 5,000 power, and if it kills something, it can like restand. Put this in standby. Half of your deck is soul triggers. Seems pretty good. Also relevant is only the turn it's placed on stage from hand. That's actually a horrible, horrible demerit with the standby deck. Especially given like how tight the space is. I actually like these card profiles. They can really screw with good players. Good players tend to like leave one card in deck after using a climax combo, and then you screw with their compression a little bit with this. Pay one kind of plus, right? I mean, imagine that if you pay this, you're just hoping to get that one attack off. Not worth your time, though. Or is it? I don't know. We'll have to see how the deck looks at the end. I think this heals a vanilla, so it's not worth it. Memory is not relevant in English. Not at all. There's no Kabans. I don't even think this card's played in Japanese, so... yeah, definitely not. This gives continuous memory compression, but I'm like 100% sure that's vanilla. Yeah, it's a... what the hell is this? On death. What is this? Oh, it gets any card out of your clock? It's not good, though. Okay, what does this kill? Okay, kills your AG. Sends it to memory. Pay 2, that was terrible. You get to +1. Oh, what is this? Oh, they just go to hand? Level X or lower. So the first time you get a level 1, you can get this backup. It's kind of spicy. Oh, characters? Oh, this backup is a character. Cool. So you can grab the character. Grab 2 of them, actually. But this, like, you can only use this defensively? Heal to stock. And you just keep stock charging? That's once again, this is like an entirely different... actually, the rest is a... that's an act, but that is a completely different deck. That is not at all what I'm trying to do right now. So I'm just going to ignore this card. It was interesting to look at, though. Another global to Avatar, or I think that's net. On play from hand, give a card on reverse search by paying one. That's arguably way better than the blue card I was looking at earlier. Draw 2 dish. This card, I like this card. It's funny. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's funny. Yeah, once again, that's like a theme deck that last card went with. Pretty funny. Just like, get this card out that starts. Well, it's like a 1/1, but you can get out for free, and then just like memory shooting stuff like immediately at level 0. It's pretty funny. It sounds kind of awful. And then you send all these like AGs to memory, and then oh man, that's an entirely different deck though. I'm getting too memey with it, and what I can do with standby. Place one card from hand into clock. I actually like this. But it only searches for the cards that I don't care about, right? But this, if you're trying to run like 2 colors, like if I was trying to run like green blue or green red at 1, like seriously, like if I was really seriously trying to do that, I would want a card like this. So even if my opponent level locks me, I can actually have control over the color that goes into my clock. This is strictly better than a Ricky, in my mind, for trying to maneuver around dual colors at a level. I mean, it's not better than a Ricky in most scenarios, but for the utility of it's like a kind of like a drop search. It's a drop search that utilizes your clock instead of your stock. Terrible vanilla. I mean, it's a vanilla that interacts with the deck. This is Fairy Dance, right? Is that Fairy Dance? I'm terrible at this. Fairy's Aid. So I don't think this is Fairy Dance. 6/5. Oh my god. I can't. I've tried like a Kaban that like mills 2 and I've hit 0 before, so I can't imagine having to rely on a top check. Skin, I hate this demerit. It doesn't matter what. Oh, wait. Oh. But this can't be better than Liz, right? Because even if you use the startup and you gain 2/5, you're only 10k. Split counter. I mean, like, if you're using the split counter, you're using the split counter of the Liz too, right? And the 2/2 Liz actually gets to stay on board, unlike this. So, yeah, this card's not worth dealing with. Saving a stock at 1 is whatever, but saving a stock at 3, this, yeah. If I'm playing green, I'm probably going to include this. Double stock charge. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Can you afford the hand? Debatable. It's also a miss on like all of your top checks. Right? Because well, do you have top checks? You have the, yeah, your standby combo is definitely a top check. Absolutely awful. It's a terrible event. Is this a full booster? Oh my gosh. Or is this the end? I think this is the end. Nope, it's still going. Okay. If you have one or less characters in back row, can't attack. It's like a fake condition. No, wait. You have to have a full back row? That's not. You get double salvage for one. It's not bad. But I think I'm on standby gold bar at the moment. Once again, this is not supposed to be a tier 1 deck. This is just like my thoughts. This is just showing how I deck build. Some of the considerations that are going into it. I might play this deck. It might be awful. Heals on play. Stops back up. It's not worth playing. Yeah, this card. I like this card. Because look at this right here. I pay one. I rest it. My entire board gets bigger. It already pumps up my board as well. And then I get to salvage. And then I get to salvage the backup. And they get super sad. They might not even be able to come back from it. Revenge. This kind of helps with like big boards, but you can only have so many cards in the back row. It's got some interaction with a 2-soul trigger. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're not going to be playing the 2-soul trigger. The revenge trigger is cool. Your goal is to not get things reversed, though. Milling 2 is pretty good. It actually interacts very nicely with standby. X equals the number of cards. I mean, this helps you get over stuff, but you already know that the level 0 game is tight. Of course, if you're playing standby, you include like 1 to 2 of that, regardless of what happens. Salvage is on play. You can burn 1. Seems fine. You play this. 100% you play that. Wait, this is a coin flip card? So 6/5 coin flip. Wait. Oh my gosh, I hate sword art so much right now. This is like a strictly better Aurochs. Aurochs? Or? AO? I'm not sure how to say it. Regardless, it's better than the card in Kimono that gains 1,000 when something else attacks, has the same stat line and the same effect. Because this, you tri-field this, they're all 6/5. For like this fake demerit. Okay. I'm going to make a modified version of my Kimono deck with this. This later. I didn't know this card existed. It's pretty cool. Center slot gains Encore. Everything gains 1,000. Ooh. This is actually like super solid as well. Like if you put like a it's like how big are event backups in English? That you actually need the Machine of Ice. There's like Conquel. If you're losing to Conquel with Standby Sal, you're doing something wrong, so you don't care about the Machine of Ice there. Tulavru has been bullied out of the meta. AOT, arguably, but if they move gear, do you really care? Like, what is the outcome from them move gearing that you actually care about what happens? Where Machine of Ice trumps this. Because that hand encore is relevant, right? You can save the Sinon Restander for a card in hand. And then also save the list for 1 stock. And it's a global 1,000. Well, the other one's only 1,000 to front. Oh, this is better than the trial deck card we had earlier. There's no, especially when we're thinking about dropping blue in favor of other stuff. What is this? What's this, an Amagi? When the hell did I open this? Yeah, this card's worth looking at. During your turn, it pumps just like a specific card, but also once again we're trying to do like dual lane or dual turn power. Regardless of what we're doing, if we're doing standby or like any kind of control, we're not going to be revealing level 0s. It's not worth playing. Ooh, stock has 3 cards or less. If you have very little stock, you get to keep this card. It's really strong, though. Oh, no, it gives other cards Encore. Okay, that's terrible. It gives them Clock Encore, though. That's like a trap for bad players, but you generally don't build decks, even for fun, to like punish bad players. Unless you're being really greedy. Just not worth playing. Dank meme. Makes a lot of your top checks fail, though. Like, why would you play this? You ever want to scry like one card deeper? Or you ever want to plus off of your other card? This card's solid. Standby, whenever you play it, you actually, yeah, you like lose out on soul, like people say. Cards like this kind of actually help alleviate that. If you attack with 2 cards that you normally wouldn't, and then you save one, it's kind of like you got an extra soul. You include this in any sword art deck. Like this card actually just goes in any. This right here is a fake condition, just fake. And then you get to draw a card, so it replaces itself. 2k power, and then has this like, oh no, I triggered a bar. Oh no, let me just pay out that blind stock and ditch it, and then mill to a new deck. Great card. Or potentially just get extra damage when I need it. You don't play this without the combo. Like, even if you can dig, the leaf is just better because it actually has utility without a climax combo. Ooh, 3/5. Stage to clock. You can put this. No, wait, no, you can't. This card's terrible. This goes with the idea of walling people out. I know people use it to dig for a card. So again, I don't think we're playing blue, right? Because we're playing yellow, green, 4 colors. You have to have like a really good reason to play 4 colors, and our level 1 is already, we want to be standbying, and we have this green stuff on board. So I think it's too greedy to put anything with blue in it. In fact, we might even be able to just skip blue. I don't think anything. This is like a climax. This card is really good. The crosscut's really good too. Oh shit! You can actually. You don't have to hard play this. You can standby into it. Oh god, how important is this card? Even then, you're only wanting that color. Or is yellow the least important color? Right? Because you've got... Your transition is... green is primary. At 1. Red is secondary. At level 2, you could go to blue. Red is still secondary? Like you're running red cards, but you're not prioritizing leveling red. And then you go to the next level, and you want the yellow, because your healer's tied to it. Red is only tied to Liz. And some 1/1s. That's so greedy. That's so greedy. Okay, let's get into this. We're not playing this. Regardless of what happens, we're not playing this. Let's see what we want. We don't want this. Sword art. I'm playing in English. I want that. Oh no. Touch my screen. That. Okay. I decided to keep standby. I decided to keep the silica. I decided to drop that. These are two really good standby targets. If you're playing standby, you have to play these pretty much. Like it's worth the payoff. Of course, you're going to include attacking waves. This Leafa, though, we might drop it down to 1. This Liz, it goes with the colors, right? We're going to be playing red. Kirito, we're not playing that at all. We might even drop this Asuna down to a 1-of. Like, it's... The goal of this deck isn't to have double Asuna in the back row. Like, double Asuna is a great thing in most decks. Well, and actually, regardless of what you do. But I feel like we're going to run into a lot of space requirements with this. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try this. Oh, okay, we're gonna try to keep these anti-damage. Holy shit! Oh my god. Okay. How many of this do you play? What's our color spread look like? 5 yellow means that it's definitely like the... It's definitely taken a back seat to blue. But I have 12 cards. Well, I have to... Okay, I have to put the gold bar in. I have to put Yuki in. Yeah, this is the primary game plan. Yuki is... Am I spelling it right? Yui? No, it's... Right, it's green. Am I not remembering this girl's name? I don't know what it's called. Yuki. Oh, yeah, Zek, and here we go. I don't know how many of this I play. Okay, so the idea is we can use Mother's Rosario to get the cards that we need and like get the cards we need in grave. Because of that, I think we can actually run even lower lines of cards that we only want to see one of. Like, Link Strike Sinon's great. It's a very, very strong card. But are you ever going to field two of them things? No. Never. You're never going to play 2, so you're going to play like 1. What's this Asuna that we want? Do we have enough zeros? We don't have enough zeros. We're going to have to pad that number up a little bit more. How is this? Cost 3. Oh, it's level 3, not cost 3. Level 3? Oh, look, it just got rid of that color. Okay. The struggle. Yeah, overcoming fear. Heals on play. Do we play 3 or 2? It's like your finisher, right? Do I have every color here? Yellow, green, red, blue. This is so greedy. Good news is this thing doesn't cost... This thing costs hand, but not stock. I'd be surprised by how much hand this can generate. What's my color spread look like? 17 green, which is good. These are my two climax combos, are red and green. Oh. Are red and green, so I really care about them. Yellow really is a secondary color in this deck, right? I've got a card I stand by into, and a card at level 3. Is that really it, though? Oh, I've got my backups. There's literally nothing I want to play in yellow until level 3, which gives me time to find it. The same is actually being done right now with blue. No, blue wants to be played at level 2. Blue... Green, blue, red, because you have the amount of red in your hand. Like, if I'm piloting this, I want to level green, so I can get my bar combo off. I don't care about yellow. I then go and I level blue because it's the scarcest color that I'm fixing for. That I actually care about, because I want to play down the Sin on. I want to get the draw with the Sin on. And I have access to red in hand to clock at all stages of the game to be able to play down the Liz. After playing down the Liz, I can even heal off the red that I played, which makes slamming a standby afterwards a little bit more interesting, to say the least. This color scheme makes the standby, or the because a really cool thing you can do with actual standby style is you can play down the Liz, ditch a card, then pay 2 to draw with the Sin on, and then you can just, like, for 3 stock and 2 hand, you can have 2 level 3s on board, and then if you play the standby, you have a 3rd one. Of course, you would put the Asuna behind it to help them, like, have actual staying power. I don't think that line of play is, like, almost even possible with this deck. I think you're like giving up a lot by being this greedy. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, when I came into this, I said, hey, let's make a fun deck. So just kind of play around a bit with some numbers. I actually don't even have that high, like, top heavy of a deck. Because I guess if I'm trying to use this, right, I want to have, I've got 14 soul triggers in the deck, because this doesn't have a soul trigger. This doesn't have a soul trigger. 14. What is it, like, ditch 2, burn 1 to 2? It's not the worst. It's actually a nicer number. Because you got, like, this and this. I think you play one of this. If it's engraved, they're spooked and they think you have a second one. If they see 2, they know you only play 2. If you play 1, they might not ever see. You might be able to sandbag it the entire game. It's also less misses on your bounce back to hand card. It also gives us an extra deck spot. Green was already... You're going to get green into level. There's no question about that. You've got 12 different cards. Green at 0. What are my options? Any of the cards we looked at? I'm already playing this. It's a good card. Oh, we definitely don't have room for that. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Pay 1 plus. During my opponent's turn? Like, this is an okay turn 0. Do I even have a card to go out on turn 0? Oh, wait. This is green. I definitely don't need green. I need blue or yellow. Blue or yellow? I have access to the runner, right? The mill runner? I just keep looking real quick. Nope. This card's actually great. Already got it. Already got it. Too much. Too much. Too much clump. Hand Encore, pretty solid, but I don't even know if I have to play this card, right? I don't have to, but it's like, what else in blue am I ever going to play that's like going to be as good? This is a climax combo. Not to summarize things, as rarity is all that matters, but I mean, it's a double R versus like, what are those commons going to be? Top check, yeah, when you play a climax, but it's too much back row, and I'm not playing that climax combo anymore. Already playing that. But backup's pretty good. Okay, I have a lot of windows. Oh, that's right, this was memes. Don't care about that, though. It does too little. It's not an... Oh, it is an act. Wait. Auto. Continuous. Okay, never mind. Startup S. Yeah. Standby into this. It's an extra soul trigger. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, okay, so I'm currently looking at the 2-2. If I do that, there we go. It should gain focus. I guess we just add stuff and then get rid of it. What is this card called? Kirito something or another. Unique skill. That translation is probably horribly wrong. Yay, and it resets the color every time. Oh, it is unique skill. Cool. Put one of that in. 7 blue cards. Card's terrible. We're already not playing a good deck though, so it's whatever. Yeah, that global. You have a lot of different global thousands. Card's not worth it. Definitely not playing Last Shot anymore. Fairy Dance isn't even a consideration. This 1-1? This 1-1's still pretty solid. Okay, these are pretty much the cards I'm looking at adding. Yellow. I feel like I have enough yellow. Like, adding more yellow, especially with as little as yellow does. It's a finisher, but you have to hard play it at 3, or you can stand by into it. Regardless, you don't care about yellow. You actually don't. Blue is far more important to this deck. As 16 like spread between red and green means you're going to get what you need. You might have to level something that doesn't feel the best to level, but that's probably fine. I'm wondering if you move this Asuna counter to a 2 of, since you have ways. If you're playing the Yuki, you can probably afford to play 2 of this actually. And you don't have 4 Yukis because the Yuki will get you the counter. Oh wait, that fucks up your counts. Or does it? No, it should be fine, actually. Once again, yellow. I've ran like 5 counts of cards before. I think yellow, you should be able to get what you need. Especially by level 3. Now, the blue, though, is a very big concern. Do I have discard outlets in this deck? Oh, I don't. Wonderful. Well, Yuki's a discard outlet for whatever I need, actually. Honestly, looking at cards, there's this thing. So this card gives Encore. But this card is super cool. I really like this. Search your deck. Search your deck for something. Man, this card's just so spicy. I'm going to include it. Oh my god, what's her name? It doesn't matter. Cost 1. Level 1. I'm going to hit red. It's going to delete these. Okay, I actually get to keep it. I'm going to include one of that. It's just such a cool card. Like, you'd think it's a wasted slot, but like when that comes up, you'll be like, man, I'm glad that my cards gained a level that weren't Yuki. Thank you. Climax combo list gained a level. Okay, wait, that's actually pretty terrible, right? Because you want to have this in the back row. Does this actually help you? Blue. Need the blue at 0, right? No hate. No hate. I know that a lot of people don't do this. Where is it? I know there's a Kirito. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, Temporary Alliance. Bumps you up to 9? Oh god, Yuki already takes care of bombs. Is that permanent though? Alright, this one of event counter is fine. You have ways to get it. $13. No. There's one less of that. Remember that. Oh, wait. This is level 2, right? Why does it say 3? Oh, character. Event. Got it. That's 13, 17? 17 soul triggers? Seems fine. Especially for this. Don't care about that yellow. Do we want to change any of these other ratios? This card just seems so worthless. It seems worthless and it seems good. The struggle. I want to have 2 of these and 1 of this. Do I actually want to play 4 of this? Or do I want to play 3? But it's also my only discard outlet. Which is pretty terrible. And the drop searcher didn't have like free discard, right? This card's so terrible. I could replace it for literally any of these other cards. I like this card so much. Discard a card, check top 4, add 1, and then like it helps your standbys. During your opponent's turn, it gives everything 1500. Like, it doesn't help you on the offense, but like you're building a defensive deck, right? You're playing these counters, you're playing ways to search them. Your finisher doesn't care about power. It's like 13k or something. You don't actually care. And that line of text is so good. And it's blue. Look at this, okay? We've got red. Okay, we have red. So this card does nothing. It doesn't help your colors. It does nothing. Does Hand Encore? It's cute. It's cute. But the cards that matter have Encore anyway, and everything else is costless. You just actually don't care if it dies. It's whatever. Cool. Level 1000. Green? You've got green too. You're actually overflowing with green. The pay one, when it kills something, okay, cool. But the hand filter, the 1500 power on opponent's turn. I think this card, no idea what it's called, but it definitely helps more kids. There's no way that's what it's called, Sinon. Yeah, this Sinon though is super solid. I think it just helps the overall goal of the deck more. That's it. Gives us an extra soul trigger too. Puts up 10 blue, 17 red. It's an extra discard outlet. It comes a little bit late though, right? 15, 12. This card seems so terrible. Almost like a one of Drop Searcher would be better. Okay, just because like I'm really torn about this one card. Really torn. It doesn't matter. I just want to look at level 0s real quick. See if I see any like Drop Searchers. Or like, actually I already know what they are. The ones that are relevant are like the come and play, top check, add to hand, discard one. Because I can't forget that like my back row is going to be clogged, like really clogged. And this isn't a drop search, right? It's I have to clock myself to get that effect, which isn't bad. Attack and pay it out. That's some really good utility. Oh, I apologize if I'm mumbling. This is... I honestly didn't expect to think this hard on this deck. This card honestly has no business being in the deck. Like, at all. Like, not in the slightest. You probably honestly leveled. If this appears in your level, you just level it because you don't care. Your blue options like your runner and your crosscuts. Man, it almost looks like you want red as... Well, no, because red is the one that you're relying to get to clock. So, like, green will show up enough, but the red, you have to have in clock at, like, 2. Because you're going to level blue. Hell, you might not actually ever level red. You might level yellow. What's your back row look like at all stages of the game? Amagi probably stays back there. This card appears for a turn, and then you might like shove the Amagi up. And then whenever you do that, this card comes down when necessary. You don't have a brainstorm, do we? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's fine. You have a Magi, right? Oh shit. Oh, I'm a greedy player, but I can't not have a brainstorm. A Magi definitely does not fulfill the same role as a brainstorm. Even if we only run like 2 brainstorms, like, there has to be one in here. That's the, with standby, I actually like the draw 2, ditch 1, and especially given the fact that we don't have discard outlets here, right? The draw 2, and since you're playing standby, it like kind of, if you hit like a, if you draw a card that you need in your grave, it's like a good discard outlet. On top of being greedier for the standby. What, after battle? Right? Okay. $12 blue. There's too many blue. Actually, too many blue cards. I'm playing one Link Strike Sinon, one Yui. Both of these are high impact cards. Like, these are both very high impact cards. You can search this off with the cards that you need. This card is terrible. It should honestly be dropped. Let me just reassess everything else first. This card should be dropped as well. 17 zeros. I think we can like shore up our problem. I think there's some problems at 0. With this competes with the Amagi. The Amagi gives more power than this. At most stages of the game, you actually want to use the Amagi over this. And you want to have the Amagi in the back row over this. I feel like the Kirito will be like a, oh no, I need to brainstorm. And you have the ability to search it. This is so greedy. Don't do this. Don't follow this list anymore. It's terrible. This is an advantage engine. You play 4 of your advantage engines. This card is terrible. I don't think there's ever a time you actually stand by into this. I don't think there's ever a time you actually put this on the board, right? No, wait, that's actually this. 4, 10, 18. 18 Soul Turkish. I'm not sure of the math on that. That's like almost half your deck. It's actually less than half. It's a lot of Soul Triggers to hit with Asuna. 11's just so many cards. You're playing this card that's terrible. Like, what does it do? Or is it? I don't know. It's pretty formidable. You got the backup behind it. It just starts getting markers and then randomly restands for free. Okay, 1. You play this. Level 3 lineup is pretty big. I said I had too much blue. If I'm going second, what are my options? I've got this Kirito. Okay, I've played without this, and I can tell you right now, it is rough. I can like buff this, tap this, get on reverse salvage, move a card to the back row. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. Oh god. Runners are just too good though. Screw. I'm already being way too greedy. I can't have that. 16, 16, 11, 7. You would level. I'm gonna build this. Deck name, Built Together. Even though this was alone. It's just a test for Standby Sal. Like, this isn't like super optimal. I mean, we sat down, deck built, evaluated some cards, didn't get answers. So my thought with like not including this in, is like, okay, look, you've got huge cards. I don't think there's an early play you actually care about. Like, there's actually not an early play you care about. With this backing up your cards, and like, it doesn't matter. Like, 12-5. at level 2. Actually, with this, you can get up to 13k with the Sin on. You do not care at all about what your opponent is doing. There's not a deck in English that can really contest it other than the mirror match. You don't... A lot of people are on standby style, so you don't have to care about that. Lost the Leaf counter. Actually lost a lot of counters for a defensive deck. But the idea is you can recur it with this. The Brainstorm's more of an emergency card. The Amagi's to actually like maintain hand if necessary. And it's also to get maximum value of this counter since you are trying to play a defensive game. You're playing green. This is only to be you're only supposed to use this as standby and as a like stock out. Compared to the other standby decks, you're trying to conserve your stock a lot more with this deck. So that at level 2, you can do the double early play with these two. You're running a very low blue count, which forces you to level blue second. Probably put a runner in there or this crosscut. Both of these are low impact cards later in the game, so you don't mind throwing them in level. You can even search them out with this to clock or to put into level. If you clock a red or you level a red, you have access to this, and then you would have access to this with the other card. This is an okay-ish finisher. You're playing 3 of it, and I'm assuming you clock one, or you clock one of this. Oh shit! Did we take that down to 6? No, still at 7. Might need to touch this up a bit after. You might even drop this Liz down to 1 to include a 4th one of this to like round it up to 8, and then what would you have? 15 red? Yeah, I mean, this isn't perfect. This is just like an okay-ish baseline. I didn't mean for it to be 4-color, but it just kind of ended that way. But yeah, thank you guys for staying with me through the longest deck building experience I've ever done. We went through 6 different sets. I think 2 EBs. I'm gonna just count re-edit as like an EB. So 3 EBs, 3 full boosters. The goal in mind was to incorporate a 1/0 Liz, this card, or Sugaha, into a deck. With preferably standby. Managed to get there, changed around the climax combo to the bar, and made a couple of other tech choices that were weird. This thing is very questionable. Definitely drop it if you're trying to be a little more serious with it. Hopefully this gave you guys like some insight onto different like ways to approach deck building. Different considerations for like when you're evaluating cards. I tried to explain what my thought process was behind the levels and like why I chose the cards I did at each level. And the transitions that I foresee, like how you would play this, and like what cards are just actually meant to like not even be played on board, but that you're using the standby to have the utility of. And like why I would drop ratios and try to include other things. Once again, by no means is this a refined list. I would have to play this a bit. It's like, it's actually kind of too wonky to be refined. But I guarantee that I could probably pilot this well enough to do okay-ish at locals. I could probably do okay in a tourney as well, like a bigger tourney as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, if anyone's still here. And until next time, this is Seiryo Tennan, signing out.